Hello everybody and welcome to the Last Word on Tennis podcast. We have an absolutely fantastic special episode for you here because we're all missing tennis so much. I thought I'd get together with a couple of my buddies and put together a trivia-based podcast, which hopefully you guys at home can play along with as well. I am going to post the questions out in text format as well as alongside the podcast itself, so you don't just have to listen to it. You can look at the questions first of all and then kind of answer them yourself and see how the guys that I've gathered here get on with those questions. Obviously, the tennis, I don't want to cover it too in depth because things are changing constantly all the time. We're recording this on a Thursday, the 19th. So at the moment, the French Open have gone unilaterally and said that they're going to move the French Open from May to the end of September, basically a week after the US Open finishes. And then the US Open came out with a statement, which was, interesting. And then the ATP and, everyone's bringing out statements. But basically, there's no tennis for the foreseeable future. At the moment, the deadline is it's like 6 weeks or so from now. But I don't think any of us expect that to necessarily hold. Never fear, we're here to hopefully entertain you guys for the next 45 minutes to an hour or so with some top-notch trivia chat. So let's introduce who we've got here. I've got two of the finest tennis minds from the Last Word on Tennis staff. They actually volunteered for this, so I'm expecting big things. One of them you'll know quite well by now, maybe, and another actual debutant to the podcast. So we'll start with our debut. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, Andy. So just to introduce myself, I'm Ryan Schick. I'm based out of Houston, Texas, and I've been writing for Last Word on Tennis, I think roughly about 2 years. Professionally, I'm an engineer, so I don't write for a living, but I'm a huge tennis fan on the side, and I've really enjoyed writing, and I'm looking forward to being on the podcast for the first time.
Great to have you here. So you say you've been kind of like writing for 2 years. What was it that made you kind of start writing about tennis? You wanted to take your kind of fandom a little bit further?
Yeah, I guess so. I done some writing for my university's newspaper a little bit, and yeah, I wanted to kind of take it a little further and have something in case I wanted to get involved professionally in tennis some way, and I just really enjoy it, if nothing else.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to have that there. You mentioned university there. Do you want to give a shout out to your university to get some fans on board on your side or straight away?
Yeah, I actually recently graduated a couple of years ago from USC, University of Southern California. Unfortunately, we were having on the tennis side, at least on the men's side, I think we were number 2 or 3 in the nation. It was our best year in several years. And of course, the season's been canceled. So that was kind of a shame as a big fan, but nothing we can do.
Damien, hi.
Hi guys, hi everyone. I'm a big fan of any trivia, to be honest. So especially
that's what you're doing
trivia.
Here, just to answer questions. Yeah. All business.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very excited for this, and I hope it goes as good as we did in the previous episodes when there were quizzes.
Hopefully, all these questions that I've put together are reliable and credible. Might have to check my sources at the end of it. So I will say, as a disclaimer, I've put these questions together myself. And as much as I've fact checked what I've kind of come up with, if anyone does disagree, then tough, basically. My word is final at the moment, although, I'm sure on Twitter and on Reddit and a number of other places, Facebook, people will probably take issue with some of the questions that I've come up with, and maybe I've done it wrong. But, for now, this is what we've got, and hopefully everyone can enjoy this little quiz that I've put together. So let's kind of jump in. The first round, I'm not going to test you hopefully too hard. It's only about last year. So the following 10 questions, I think it is, are all on 2019. Ryan, I'm going to flip a coin at home here, and you're going to tell me whether it's heads or tails to decide who goes first, because it's going to be questions alternative, and I don't want anyone to think that I've picked badly. So heads or tails?
I'll go heads.
It's tails, unfortunately. Damien, would you like to go first or second?
I'd like to go first, I think. Yeah.
Let's go first. So this is going to work in a calendar format. So that means you're starting with a question that's all about January 2019, and then Ryan, you'll get February, and then Damien March, and so on and so forth. There's 2 questions for November because obviously there's no December. So, right, let's start then. January 2019, which country won the most recent Hopman Cup? I was going to say the final Hopman Cup, but we never know whether it might come back or not. So which country won the Hopman Cup in 2019?
Switzerland.
It was Switzerland. Ding! Correct. First point on the board there for Damien. February. Ryan, Elise Mertens won her only title of the year in this month, but which other Belgian also won a title in February? It's another female player.
Which other Belgian?
She ended up winning 2 in that year.
Yeah, I know. It's on the tip of my tongue, but oh, shoot.
I'll give you 5 seconds.
No, I'll have to pass on this one.
She's a redhead. Maybe
She is a redhead. Do you know, Damien? I'm not going to give you the point for it, but you can show off if you want.
Alison
yeah.
Alison van Uytvanck is correct.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she had a good,
yeah.
had a good year in 2019, winning 2 titles in the end. So, Damien, back to you for March. Obviously, this time of year, and we hark back to what we should be watching now, really. Who were the 2 players who won both Miami and Indian Wells titles?
You mean men or women?
It's kind of for all genders.
Okay, so in Indian Wells it was Bianca Andreescu and Dominic Thiem.
I'm asking for 2 players who won both Miami and Indian Wells.
Oh,
so it's not. So obviously we're not talking about singles here because it was different.
Okay, so we're talking about doubles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Jesus, that's tough. I don't know. I'm gonna say the Bryans, but it's not.
I think the Bryans did win Indian Wells.
Yeah,
doubles,
they won one, I think, but I don't know really. No, I'm gonna pass.
This
on that.
one is Elise Mertens, the aforementioned Elise Mertens, and do you know who she's doing it with?
I don't know. She played with Sabalenka at some point, but
Green Sabalenka. Yeah. So they won both Miami and Indian Wells titles. These are tough questions. I warned you. Back to you, Ryan. April. Which male player won 2 titles in April?
Male player won 2 titles in April.
A little clue to go along with this one. He's repeated the trick this year already, winning 2 titles in a month.
Was it Rublev? Andrei Rublev?
It's not Rublev. Do you want to have a guess, Damien?
Christian Garin.
Christian Garin is correct. In May, the mixed doubles final from it must be the French Open. Yeah, French Open featured 2 males from the same country. So the mixed doubles final at Roland Garros featured 2 male players from the same country. Which country was that?
I don't even want to guess. I mean, mixed doubles. I remember watching some at Wimbledon, but for the French Open, I don't know. I'm going to say France.
It's not France. Ryan, do you know? It's actually Croatia.
Croatia?
So Ivan Dodig and Mate Pavic.
Oh, yeah.
In June, so we're talking Ryan, isn't it now? Who won both singles and doubles at Queen's Club? So he's a male player, obviously. Mm-hmm. Won the singles title at Queen's and also won the doubles quite famously, actually, in the end.
I remember watching that tournament, but
I'll give you a further clue. It's when Andy Murray was having his comeback and he was only playing doubles, and he teamed up with this fella, and he also happened to win the singles title. So.
Yeah, no, I knew it was with Murray. Oh shoot! I can't believe I'm blanking on who he played with. It wasn't Del Potro.
Murray's mother really likes him. She has a nickname for this guy.
Oh, yeah. Shoot.
No.
Am I?
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Go on. No.
Feliciano Lopez.
Damien? Yeah, Feliciano Lopez. Damien, your question, July. Which unusual tactic did Nick Kyrgios employ on his way to the Washington title in July?
He started asking the crowd before the match points whether he should serve down the tee or out wide.
That's right. Yeah, he started asking the crowds. In August, Ryan, how many wins in a row did Bianca Andreescu end the US Open with? So she'd won how many games in a row? Was it? I'll give you some options here. Was it 10? Was it 13? Or was it 16?
So, 7 with the U.S. and she won Toronto right before that.
Mm-hmm.
So another 5. I'm gonna say either 13 or 16. I'm gonna go with 13.
13 is correct. You are on the board.
Right.
September, then. September, Damien, you've got which female player won 2 tournaments in September? So had a good run after the US.
Naomi Osaka.
Correct, Naomi Osaka. Ryan, in October, how many Grand Slam titles had been won by the players who were contesting the Antwerp Open final? And quite a couple of big names have contested the Antwerp Open final. How many Grand Slam titles, singles titles, did they have between them?
Antwerp this year. 6.
Correct. Who were the players?
I'm right on the final. It was Andy Murray and Stan Wawrinka each with 3.
Spot on. Yeah, perfect. November then. So you both get asked questions about November. Damien, yours is on the Fed Cup. Which player in the Fed Cup won all 3 rubbers in the final?
I can't even remember who won the Fed Cup. Was it Czech Republic? I'm gonna say
it was held in Australia. I'll give you that clue. It was held in Australia.
Yes, I watched it. But I'm gonna say Ashley Barty, but I'm not sure. No,
it's not Ashley Barty. Do you want to have a guess, Ryan?
So it was the other nation.
Yeah.
So it was.
Yeah, I don't remember who
it was
they played.
Kristina Mladenovic won all 3 of her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I watched it actually. I was pretty sure I didn't, but I did. Yeah.
And your final question in this round, Ryan, is who won the doubles title at the ATP Finals?
Doubles title. Oh gosh. I'm gonna guess. I don't have much confidence in this, but Dodig and Mello.
It wasn't Dodig and Mello. It was a team from the same country. Sorry, they have the same nationality. The 2 players. Damien, do you know?
Herbert Maillet, I think.
Yeah, Herbert Maillet. So there we go. At the end of the first round, it's 3-2 to Damien. Some of those questions were tough, especially in the midsection, but we got into a good little pace towards the end. So we'll move and hopefully carry that on into the second round, which is I've entitled Around the World. So in this round, I've got questions that concern different continents of the world to do with the tennis. Ryan, as you're behind, I will give you the opportunity to choose a continent. So you've got to choose from North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, and Australia. And the question will concern one of those continents.
Let's go North America.
North America. Since 1990, so including 1990 as well, have the US won more Davis Cups or Fed Cups?
Including 1990. I'm going to go Davis Cups just based on the 90s.
So they've won quite a lot of both, especially in the 90s, although not recently. They've actually won more Fed Cups than Davis Cups by 1.
Shoot.
So that there's going to be a bonus point for each of these as well. So the bonus question is, can you tell me how many times they've won the Fed Cup? Since 90, obviously including 1990.
Since 1990, yeah. I'll say 7.
5. Fortunately, 5 Fed
Shoot.
Cups, 4 Davis Cups. Damien, so North America's gone. Where would you like to go?
Antarctica.